is John Wilcox, and this is Redeeming the Fathers of America. Put yourself in the place of moving your family to escape persecution, fleeing to a new country only to experience it anew, not only from your own race, but now from the natives of this land. The threat used to be ill treatment of shaming or taunting your clothing, your manner, even your faith. However, now it encompasses the very thread of your life. What would you do? Few Americans realize the level of persecution that existed among the colonists whose families came from England to settle this rich yet foreboding land. If so, are we aware of the fact that some of these same colonial families left England for that very reason had little or no expectation of experiencing it here? Joseph's parents, Aaron and Providence Worth Hewes, suffered many of the same situations of their Catholic and Jewish brethren. As a Quaker family, they too faced the prejudices practiced by the descendants of the Puritans. However, that is not all they faced. During the years prior to Joseph's birth, many parts of New England were suffering under the threat of Indian attacks. This violence was inflamed by the government of Massachusetts, which had increased the bounty on Indian scalps and prisoners to 100 pounds, causing the Indians to retaliate in what seemed a most barbaric form. The Hewes family moved from the dangers they faced in New England to save their lives, and barely succeeded as Joseph's mother, Providence, suffered a ball shot wound to her neck when they neared the Houstonic River. In their search for a quiet and simpler lifestyle, the family settled in New Jersey, where Joseph was born in Kingston in 1730. When he was of age, he entered Princeton College, graduated, and then moved to Philadelphia. Here he was granted an apprenticeship in a counting house under the care of a successful merchant and exporter, Joseph Ogden. Having learned much, Hewes ventured out on his own and became a very successful merchant. It was during these years that Joseph Hewes' reputation as a man of integrity and character forged out of his Christian upbringing was noticed by many of his fellow citizens. At age 30, Joseph moved to North Carolina, where the value of his character quickly gained the respect and confidence of the people he lived among, and by the time of the Revolution, he had amassed a significant fortune. This reputation was soon rewarded when he was called to represent North Carolina in the colonial legislature of that province, a position he held from 1766 to 1775. Hewes applied the same tireless work ethic to his service in the legislature of North Carolina and was granted the opportunity to serve an even higher purpose, that of serving as one of the 3 delegates to the Constitutional Congress of 1774. The other 2 noteworthy patriots were William Hooper and John Penn. The original goals of this Congress were to address the grievances which the colonies suffered as loyal subjects of the Crown, to reassure the king of their intentions to remain in harmony with his interests in the colonies, and to obtain a peaceful settlement regarding their rights as servants of England. 2 committees were appointed during this Congress, one of which Joseph Hewes served on. In this committee of remonstrance, a forceful protest was prepared which focused on the general rights and privileges that were being violated and a recommended course of correction to restore those rights. Hewes helped to prepare that remonstrance, which included 10 declarations of indisputable rights and liberties, the enumeration of violations committed against the colonies, and a conclusion in which the committee stated their desire to pursue 3 peaceable measures. Those specific measures included: 1, to enter into a non-importation, non-consumption, and non-exportation agreement or association. 2, to prepare all address to the people of Great Britain and a memorial to the inhabitants of British America. And 3, to prepare a loyal address to His Majesty, agreeably to resolutions already entered into. Few measures adopted by any session of Congress during the Revolution were more remarkable than that of the Congress of 1774, which included such high regard for patriotism both toward England and the colonies. Hewes knew full well the potential sacrifice this remonstrance would have on his merchant interests, yet he willingly and cheerfully assisted in forming a plan of non-importation association and became one of its first members. North Carolina was so appreciative of Hewes' service to the colony that he was appointed to return to Congress in May of 1775, where he continued in service. As a successful merchant, Joseph Hewes worked diligently to further the colony's maritime concerns, and in 1776 he signed the Declaration of Independence, where he offered his ships to the service of the Continental Armed Forces. Joseph Hewes served well the state of North Carolina and this nation until age 50 and his untimely death on the 10th of November, 1779. Reverend Charles A. Goodrich wrote of Joseph Hewes, "Although the events of his life are few, they serve sufficiently to speak of his worth as a man of integrity, firmness, and ardent patriotism. To this may be added that in personal appearance he was prepossessing and characterized in respect to his disposition for great benevolence and in respect to his manners for great amenity. He left a large fortune, but no children to inherit it." Thank you for watching Redeeming the Fathers of America.